This is an interesting conversation, and I think it's really hard to really have a grasp on the current situation. I think no one argues that the younger generation has lesser interest in wine, but I think we can't really understand and can't really compare it realistically, because even in previous generations, not the young people were the ones who were really drinking wine. So I think it's really hard to think about what needs to be changed and what are the ways that we can really impact this, because I think it's like a simplistic way of looking at it, that young people don't really drink wine, but maybe even in the previous generations they didn't drink because they didn't have the money. Wine is now, it can be more affordable, but still to drink better quality wine, it's not an entry level thing, and the younger generations don't really have the focus for that. What are the things? What do you think that can really reach the young generation and bring interest to drinking wine? Because I think it's not that simple that the alcohol consumption of younger generations is shifted to beer and cocktails in the club and everything. I'm not sure that those can be replaced. So I'm not. My question is that, are we trying to change those drinking habits, or are we trying to bring in some new interest, like an interest as for the stories?
I mean, I think, just the style of communication should be changed or tweaked for the younger generation, because they are more casual. They don't want to hear all the formalities or all the technicalities in the wine production. They want to experience more the emotions, the experience of the whole product itself, how, when to drink it, how to drink it, with who to enjoy it, in which moment. Make it, I think, more fun and approachable, I think, is the key. Fun and approachable is for sure the
Yeah.
I think the key in bringing close to the next generation. And of course, not all the wines are like that, and it's fine. But there is for sure, almost every winery has a classic wine that is
Yeah.
more approachable in both wine style and price. That can be maybe best for a younger individual that is at the beginning of the wine journey. And as this young individual will embark on the wine journey, in the years he will, if he's passionate and eager, he will for sure be able to, develop its tasting palate, and therefore, uh, to say, go and move forward into the more, to say, prestigious and more structured
Yeah.
expressions of wine. So I think it's really a language barrier that we're having at the moment, a
Mm.
language barrier that is dictated by how the wine has been presented for decades, which was very formal and elite,
Yeah.
which this still needs to continue for some wines. I'm not saying that, but if we are looking to bring close to the next generation, we need to make wine and the whole wine world more fun and approachable too. I'm not saying, savoring bottles, or being crazy in a club, or
Yeah.
being half naked on a beach. I'm saying, creating tailored experiences that, of course, showcase the quality of the wines and the reality, the identity, but in a more easy, more relaxed manner, I would say. So, the young generation is looking to be comfortable, is looking, to be relaxed. They don't want to feel uptight. And therefore, we should also be creating tailored experiences for that way. At the moment, I'm curating wine experiences that are very formal and still very, so to say, um, both pricey and formal, in the sense that tasting
Okay.
menus with the food and wine pairings and a long tasting
Mm.
experience. But I'm also creating some more, so to say, fun, down to earth pizza tastings with wine, for example. I
Yeah.
have one coming up in March, where we're gonna be pairing different pizzas, gourmet pizzas, with different
Mm.
wines, and we'll have the wine producer with us. And the experience is tailored actually to everybody, but I'm sure that the feedback and the resonation, the feedback will be coming more from the younger generation, which will
Of
have
course.
something more approachable and also a little bit more affordable. It's a bit, I think, again, it's knowing who you're talking to and where you want to position your wines. If you don't want to position your wines with the young generation, it's okay. It doesn't matter. You go forward with your own idea, and you focus with the baby boomers, the Generation X, the older millennials, and that's super
Yep.
fine. There is there's of course a big market for that. But if we're thinking ahead, which I think
Yeah.
everybody should, if we're thinking ahead and we are thinking that the millennials will grow older and the Generation Z will grow older, and then Alpha and Beta will come along. So we need to think how they're thinking, because we cannot imagine that they're gonna appreciate or understand the communicative style that was resonating 10, 20, 30 years ago. We always have
Yeah.
to be up to date. I think the number rule I think the beginning in marketing is always understanding your target audience. So
Exactly.
it has to be that, and that doesn't mean to lose your own identity, because I
Yeah.
never suggest that. You should always be true to your own identity. You should always do what you feel and what you believe in the most, and you should really not follow trends either. And we're not talking about following trends. We are talking about understanding who is the next generation and how they want to be talked to and approached.
Yeah.
You asked me before, growing in the wine world. I spent so many summers and winters and all the seasons in the vineyards and in the winery as well. And I've been very lucky to learn a lot of things like that. And I've been very lucky to be exposed at a very young age to very important, prestigious wines from all around the world. Um, and I have to tell you, at the beginning, it was scaring me because there was so much. The wine world is
Yeah.
so diverse, so
Of course.
beautiful, but so different, and there's so many details to know, and so many wine countries to learn, and so many wine styles that there are, and the grape varieties and everything that I don't know. Me thinking when I was 15 or 16, I said, how will I ever be able to learn all of this when I be young, when I be older, because there's so much. And then
Exactly.
of course you study and you do either an enology school, or you do your sommelier courses, as I did. And I'm still studying, and I'm still learning, so to say, as it's important. We always keep on learning, but I think it's scary. It can be scary at the beginning because there's so much information and so much choice that it can
Yeah.
be overwhelming, I think, for a younger consumer. But it's important to have these figures, and wineries and winemakers are really the beginning of all of it, that can take by hand the younger community and guide them
Yeah.
into this world. So yeah.
Well, it's obviously a never-ending journey, and it is scary. But also, when you consider the fact that some things and some opinions always change, and based on the wine region, there are different things that you learn something that this works like this, in maybe in the winemaking technique, and then you learn that, well, a different region does it exactly the opposite way, and then it confuses especially beginners a lot. Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here, or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section, and see you in the next one.